The disgusting truth behind One Piece goes far beyond the narrative itself. So if you clicked on this video expecting an in-depth textual analysis about the show, it's not your lucky day. Because the nature behind One Piece, in particular, Oda's foreshadowing, isn't just limited to the show itself. Because Oda is such a good writer that not only is he capable of masterfully foreshadowing the key events of his own works, he's also been able to foreshadow significant real-world events. Like when he predicted Luigi Mangione killing the United Healthcare CEO, and also in the way he predicted Joe Exotic's bizarre adventure. But Oda's writing capabilities don't just stop there, because Oda can also reveal some of the world's best kept secrets through the guise of his works. Because Nami being able to control the weather through Zeus isn't just a cool power, it's a euphemism for how one specific religion can control the weather. And the funny thing is, Nami really loves free things too. But that's beside the point, because the disgusting truth behind One Piece is that Oda's almost too good at foreshadowing and predicting real world events, that it can't just be a coincidence. I get the feeling that Oda's probably a time traveller, a psychic, or a real world wizard, and he uses his mystical powers about the future as inspiration for his works. Or, One Piece itself is a show littered with many real-world events, but made intentionally ambiguous to warn us, because he can't just tell us the future, otherwise he might get killed like Shinzo Abe did. If so far you don't believe me, just hear me out. Due to Oda's time-traveling abilities, he bases Monkey D. Luffy off Joe Exotic, because if you look at the list of similarities, you'll start to think that they're the same person. Both Joe Exotic and Monkey D. Luffy are the freedom fighters of our generation, sought on becoming the Pirate King and the Tiger King, facing similar hardships along the way, like the loss of their brothers. And they're also enemies of the world government, not to mention the fact that they've spent time in prison. For every yin, there's a yang. For every Luffy, there's a Blackbeard. And for every Joe Exotic, there's that damn Carol Baskins, the founder of the Big Cat's Rescue. And it's alleged that Joe Exotic tried to kill Carol Baskins. Well, because Luffy and Joe Exotic are closely akin, and Luffy has a no-killing rule, that would mean that Joe Exotic has a no-killing rule, which means he was set up by that bastard Carol Blackbeard. She's a pathological liar. And in fact, they've got so much in common.
I consider that bitch to be one of the biggest terrorists in the exotic animal world right now.
And Blackbeard. Now that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now, I know I said I'd talk about the Luigi Mangione connections, but there's a more pressing matter I need to talk about first. And that is Oda's ability to predict terrorist attacks. Well, this one isn't really Oda, but it's still a crazy coincidence. On September 11th, 2001, the same day as 9/11, the One Piece episode, An Island with No Doctor, aired. In this episode, Dalton talks about how Blackbeard invaded the Sakura Kingdom, his home country. While a pirate attack and a terrorist attack are different things in essence, they're pretty much the same thing. And having a terrorist attack slated to air the same day as 9/11 is just a crazy coincidence. Or was it a warning? And you know what the funny thing is? That the title, A Nation with No Doctor, could be interpreted as a metaphor for a sick and failing nation, which is what Bin Laden believed America was. Not to mention that in One Piece, people with the last name D, people with D in their name, are born to oppose the world government, which hints towards Al-Qaeda, or as I like to say, Al-Qaeda, doing something a little bit too silly. I reckon Oda tried to warn us, but another thing Oda tried to warn us about is capitalist greed, because Luffy hitting the Celestial Dragons is a symbolic way to foreshadow Luigi Mangione killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Because the scene when Luffy hits the Celestial Dragon is a unique social commentary relating the class inequalities brought upon by a failing system, and predicts a rebellion against the very top of the upper class, who benefit off the exploitation of the lower class. And maybe, just maybe, if Brian Thompson actually watched One Piece, he wouldn't have fucked around and found out. So, in conclusion, the disgusting truth behind One Piece lies in its ability to provide a profound social commentary and predict some real-world events. Oda even predicted my third favourite music artist, Ado, because Oda backwards is Ado. Now, if you took this video seriously, you really shouldn't have, because it's just a really bad shitpost. Well, it's not that bad, because I thought this video was pretty funny, to be honest, but